Whoa. Sorry, trying to get my camera to do what I want it to do here. All right. What is going on? We're going to tie some flies. Hopefully tie us a sculpin minnow or a toad sculpin. Now if I can find my thread. What did I do with my thread? I'm all sorts of confused, sorry. Do you see my thread? It's olive. I just had it. I'm telling you, I'd misplace my head if it wasn't attached to my shoulders. Oh, right here. There it is. Let's get started here. Gonna tie us a little toad sculpin, little streamer. It's kind of a fun little tie. Is that you that's on there? Oh, maybe it's from the computer. I don't know. Is that a real person that's live on there right now watching us? If you are, say hello. Well, I'll be dipped. These things aren't pieces of junk. Bought these just for tying this fly. Got them from Little Hobo Freight Company. And I'll be, if they don't work real well, they're supposed to be great. But of course I'd get the piece of junk ones. And get this wire tied in here. Gonna build us up a little bit of a ramp right here for our fibers. All right, get that wire locked down. And we're gonna grab a little bit of Z-Ment, throw over that wire and that thread, lock it down good. And we've already got all of our fibers here ready to go. So we're going to start with some longer ones here and start getting them tied in. I like to crisscross them just a little bit. It helps keep the fibers a little bit straighter. And readjust what I have there. Lock that down pretty good. And you don't have to tie that in real tight and then come back in and wrap that over it. That locks it down. Grab the next one. Oop, wrong one. Don't grab the wrong one. same thing with it. Real light. Cross it over at least once, maybe twice. Readjust that. You can see I'm leaving just a little bit of space there, because when we add our beads to this, that's right where they're going to sit. It's right in between there. Because we want this fly to float with the belly down and float very flat in the water and not take a nosedive. If you want a more in-depth video on how to tie this, head on over to Fly Fish Food. That's where I learned how. But there is a much easier way now than when I did it the first time. I'll show you guys here in just a minute what I mean. So you watch their video first time, and they mix all their fibers. What did I do with my messy fibers? So you buy all these different EP fibers, and you end up this big old rat's nest. Then, a couple weeks later, you go into Fly Fish Food and you talk to them, and they're like, hey, guess what? Since we tied that fly, they sell it pre-mixed. Much easier. Saves a ton of time. Makes this fly very easy to tie. Now that we got 3 on there, we're going to add some weights to it. These are 4mm tungsten beads. We're going to add 2 of them to it. Maybe. Come on. Fat fingers. We're going to tie those in so they lay right inside of those. Get our flash out of the way. And I should have advanced my wire a little bit there. Now I got myself into a pickle here. Start getting that wire locked down. Pull those fibers back. Fold this back over. What's going on, everybody? Where's everybody from? All these, I'm telling you, don't buy these cheap snips from the Hobo Freight Company. I'm going to invest in some better ones, that's for sure. I'm going to build us up another little ramp right here. Where are you guys from? What are you fishing for? That's what I'm wondering. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to add just a little bit more cement, or Z-Ment, super glue, to the top of that, just to help lock everything down in place. Get this one in. If you do decide to tie this fly, you can save yourself a little bit of materials if you tie these the front ones just a hair shorter than the back ones, because we're going to clip everything here in just a minute. Let's get that one locked down. Probably should have used a few more fibers in each of those, but I'm trying to keep this fly very flat. If we have to add one more to the front here, we will. Normally you do 5 going forward. Yeah, we'll probably add one more to it just to help keep it a little bit bushy in the front. Tying a sculpin toad. Yeah, we're tying flies. We hope. We're gonna go after some trout. Hopefully a big brown trout, big rainbow trout. We have a lot of cutthroat around here. We're out in Utah. It's kind of an ugly little guy. But I'm told they catch fish. I haven't caught one on my own on this one yet. But we will soon. So if you guys want to see that, then subscribe, because we'll have video coming out on us actually using some of these flies. What kind of fish do you normally go after up there? Yeah, I had a brother that was up in Minnesota for a little while. There is a lot of lakes up there. Nice. Do you guys have mostly just like rainbow trout, brown trout? What do you have up there? I don't know. I'm not real familiar with that area. I'm gonna tie that in. Wallow. Do you mean walleye? Never heard of a wallow. All I know is we got fish. Do you fish yourself? Nice. You guys have good ice fishing up that way. We have pretty good ice fishing around here too. We don't have quite as many options as you guys do, but some really good fishing. We get ice pretty early too. We get it almost right after Halloween. No, that's out in Nevada. Throw a little whip finish on this and get our thread out of the way. Now we gotta trim the tail off here. Right, making some good progress on this one. We're about done with this one. I'm going to use our long scissors and flatten everything out, and use our curved scissors to round the front of it here. Probably should have left the tail on this one just a hair longer, but it'll fish. We'll catch a fish on it. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but that's a train coming by. Alright. Now we're going to add some eyeballs in. We're going to put them just right here. We're going to use some black UV stuff. We'll get our UV light over here and ready. Yeah, that's the train going by. It's only about a block away from my house. So you hear all the dogs in the neighborhood, mostly mine out there going crazy. So that's what we're adding on right there, is just an eye. I'm not sure, Fish Fear Me. We're hopefully going to get out on Strawberry here before too long. Just put a new motor on my boat, and I'm waiting on some parts for it. I only had a 50 horsepower on it, and upgraded to 115. But I'm having troubles getting the trim motor to work on it. But I don't know, maybe hit Schofield from the shore. I need to get out. It's been way too long. My last trip was up to Green River, and that was a couple weeks ago. Had just a little bit of flash, a little bit of UV flash right there on its back. I don't know if you can see it much with the light there. Have you been out at all, Fish Fear Me? It's another place I want to go. You ice fish over there quite a bit, over there by Vernal and Roosevelt. Been seeing some videos. Want to get out there and hopefully catch some nice rainbows. I didn't realize there was that nice. Dang. How big was it? That's where I want to go. Where'd I just set my stinking thread? Yeah, I tell you guys, I would lose my head if it wasn't attached to my shoulders. It's a good thing my wife's sitting down here by me, keeping me in line. The only problem with that Matt Warner reservoir is that is quite the drive to get out there, man. On our way home from Green River, we just went to check it out. And I tell you, you are one committed person to be ice fishing out there. Because if that road was very bad, that's a long ride on a snowmobile. Do you normally snowmobile in, or do you go early enough that you can drive in? Yeah, I bet that's why they're big. Nobody wants to drive that far, man. You feel like if feel like you're clear out in the middle of nowhere. Well, let's go. Oh no, on yours. What's your biggest fish you've caught out of there? I'd like to take a boat up there and be able to do a little bit of trolling this summer. I think it'd be a good time. And you go into Starvation in the morning, man, that is one place I can't catch fish. We've decided the reason it's named Starvation is if that's what you were counting on to live, I'd starve to death, man. Holy smokes, that'd be a fun one to catch. 5 pounds, 24 inches. Dang. Sure, I'll give this one to you. Do you have fly rod you can use? I'll even hand deliver it to you. Shoot. Shoot, you don't even know. Well, I wouldn't count on much of a fly rod for your birthday then. We'll go out and get you an old willow and tie a piece of line to it, and you can do it like the Indians. This guy. These guys, all they want to do, they want me to take them fishing over to Green River, use all my gas, get me to rent the room. I even bought the food. Then they want me to take them out on the boat, use my gas, use my boat that I work on. Then he wants me to give him a fly rod. Man. You know, when you got friends like that, you really just don't need friends at all. Yeah, I agree. Fish fear me. Sometimes it really don't make sense, but I enjoy doing it. It's kind of fun. Do you ever fly fish, or did you give up on that? Because, boy, it can be frustrating. Shoot. Well, one of these days when you have a boat, I'm just going to use all your stuff. I'm just going to start sending a bill. Well, I'm making a mess out of this thing. If you want fly tying advice, I suggest you go somewhere else. Never fished up in the Uintas. I'd like to try it, but not much of a hiker. And most places up there, from what I understand, if you want to get where there's not a lot of pressure, you're going to be hiking. And, well, us big boys don't do well with the hiking. If you're interested, Fish Fear Me, there's a guy that was in my work the other day that said he was headed up to Mammoth to do a little ice fishing if you dare. I think it's a little bit late in the year for me. I'll bring that back just a little. Oh goodness. Like I said, don't watch me. I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of hiking. I wouldn't mind going down onto the Boulder and hiking into a few lakes. I just found out, I had no clue. I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook, but they claim that Blind Lake, that they put kokanee salmon in. I had no idea, but it's about a mile hike in. They recommend taking a float tube if you're going to fish it, but wouldn't be too bad. Other than getting your float tube in there, that'd be the worst part. That's if you're going for the kokanee. I'm sure you can catch I think there's cutthroat and brook trout in there. All right. Alright, on this one I'm going to add a little bit more cement in here. I've been up to Beaver Dam. We've never hiked over there though. Those fish up there on all the lakes that you can drive to are access fairly easy. I feel like get wised up pretty quick. We've had a rough go of fishing over there from the shore. Of course, you have lower bounds that's fairly easy to catch fish at, but there you're catching all planders. My wife's over here making all sorts of noise. Can't wait. We're gonna, this year, earlier in the year, we're gonna try to get up to the one place that you ice fish up there fairly early in the year, Fish Fear Me. We're gonna try to get up there early and hopefully either right before or right after Thanksgiving this year. Just the days before or the days after. We made it up there this year, but it was just late enough in the year that the fishing wasn't real great. We're going to cut this one's tail here longer than we did the last one. I'll show it off here in just a minute. Yeah, that'll be a little better. Are you, yeah, that's what happened to us, is we were there during the spawn and it was rough. It was fun though. I mean, any time out on the ice is a good time. When does the spawn usually start up there, do you know? So when I've watched you guys have always done, seems like, pretty well up there. Well, one thing I can promise you is it wasn't quite as good this last year, but you still did better than we did. We were up there for most of the day, and my brother caught one fish. All right. Oh. Yeah. Well, getting a little ahead of myself. Guess we ought to throw a whip finish on it so it doesn't come apart on us. Probably be a good idea. Yeah, I'm over in Price. Where do you live? Are you up in Utah County, Salt Lake area, or? Because you travel all over the place, man. You're all over. This is what we ended up with. This little guy, little sculpin toad. He's ugly, but they catch fish. Oh, nice. I'm going to be up that way tomorrow. Gotta go up and get some flooring and paint. Doesn't that sound like a good time? Oh, that's why you get over there to Matt Warner fairly often then. It makes it a little easier, have a place to stay and everything. Yeah, because that drive out there, man. We came in from Flaming Gorge side. But man, that was a drive. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. I'm going to tie one more, then probably head for bed. I'm going to tie us a little grasshopper. Yeah, property maintenance isn't that much fun. That's what I'm working on as a rental house. Yeah, that's the way I go is whenever we've gone over there, I've always met my brother over in Duchesne, left his car there, and then we've just taken one car over the rest of the way to Flaming Gorge. It's not bad that way. Get someone to ride with you most of the way. I want to get over there and do a little fly fishing over near Duchesne this year. I'd like to anyways. Don't know if it'll happen. Say that every year. That never seems to happen, so. But yeah, Schofield's completely ice free now. Guys, we're out there on a boat the other day. So I guess it's probably time to head over there. Alright. We are going to do... Oh, I don't have a thread set up on this one yet. That's really thick. We can probably just use a little bit of brown. It'll offset it just a little bit. Yeah, it's a good point. Everybody's got dreams of catching that great big lake trout. Yeah, I watched his videos and man, that got me excited. Watching one right before I went live here, his day 2 trip. Caught some nice fish out of there. But if you know me very well, usually don't catch much for size. Someone's got to weed through the small ones so that you guys can catch the big ones. Alright, I gotta find my legs here. Grasshopper legs. Just getting my little rubber legs here for my grasshopper legs. Oops, clipped an extra one. I'm going thread forward just a little bit. Yeah, right in there. Cinch that down just a little bit. Better give us an indicator if I can find one. Where did my cutter go? Once again, I'm telling you, my head would be gone. I'm just gonna have to cut one out real quick. Yes, but I go up high. That river is so hard. It flows so fast. It definitely not for a beginner like me. There's one spot that you right on top of Price Canyon. After you cross the bridges, there's a road that goes out, and it's quite a drive. And you drop down into the river, and it's a pretty cool spot to go and fish. But you do want a four-wheel drive to get down in there. Or I like to go and hike down from just below the Schofield Dam. That's pretty good. You want to get there early or go in the middle of the week, and then you don't deal with people quite as bad. So I'm just tying up the grasshopper legs here real quick. Throw a little cement on them. The river itself, once you start dropping down off the top of the canyon, it always seems to be real muddy. And I don't know, I've never had much luck there. I like fishing Huntington Canyon. I've done well up there. There's one spot up there that you hike into a little bit, and it usually produces for me pretty well. Yeah, I've fished the Provo River a couple times, but man, that's a tough one too. That river gets a ton of pressure on it. I've not done well on the Provo as far as catching nice fish. I've caught a lot of smaller ones, but nothing very big. But it's still a good time. There we go. That'll work. Get that leg just a hair longer. We'll go to this one. The hard part, the other hard part with the Price River is up higher where it should be better fishing. A lot of it's private property that you're not allowed to fish on. But man, I wish they'd let you, because there's some nice deep still water pools, and it'd be a good time. Oh man, Those legs are like staining. I put a little bit of super glue on them, and the whatever they use, that black stuff on the legs is reacting with that cement coming off. It's causing a big old black stain right there, but fish isn't looking at that part of the fly anyways, we hope. It's going to look at the bottom of it and go up and get him a big old treat. But normally I glue the legs and finagle them a little bit, but I'm going to have to try to find a different type of glue before I do that. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out real well. If it's going to make that paint bleed off of them. Never had that before, but this is a different type of leg that I've been using. Yeah, that's the hard part, is when they start. I wish that they weren't allowed to do that on fishable water, but I understand too. If I had a piece of private property, I wouldn't necessarily want people walking across it and messing with my stuff and that. We're just going to trim these legs up a little bit. Like I said, normally I'd take these legs and you can put a dab of glue in front or behind them and get them to lay the way that you want them to. And I'm going to do that, just not with that glue because it bled all throughout it. So, yeah, that's funny. But, yeah, that's what we tied there, just a little grasshopper. I know it's kind of ugly. The legs aren't perfect, but I've got to get some different glue. I'm not going to ruin the whole fly just to try to get the legs to sit right. But I'm going to call that night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for jumping on. And, yeah, Fish Fear Me. Got to get out there to Mount Warner. That'd be a good time. But anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.